Hello everyone. I think the first thing we need to do is to check in on Fred and see what's going on. If you've watched one of my recent videos with a personal update, you'll know that I came back from my recent Fraser Island trip and I found one of my beautiful peace lilies almost completely eaten by these green worms. Anyways, I've been checking in on Fred every day just to see if there's any more of those worms back, but they haven't returned. And in fact, Fred seems to be feeling better. He is even like letting out these new leaves. So yeah, they're sort of slowly opening up. So I feel like he's on the way to recovery and that he is faring fairly well after losing 90% of his leaves. Okay, so there is something else on my mind. Two different things happened to me lately that kind of became the inspiration for today's vlog, and one of them was that last weekend I was invited to go out with a friend of mine to go to a music performance by some of her friends. So she invited me to go with her, which I thought was very, very sweet and lovely, and nice thing to do on a Sunday afternoon. 2 days before that, on Friday last week, I actually got my booster shot, the COVID vaccine. Yeah, it knocked me around a little bit. So I had a fever on Saturday, the next day, and I was really feeling the effects. So on Sunday morning, I wasn't quite certain if I was going to go because I just wasn't my best. So I was kind of feeling into it the whole morning of, on Sunday. But I just kept coming to a conclusion that I am actually feeling good, still slightly just maybe fragile and raw after having had the fever, but not actually unwell anymore. So I thought, okay, I can go out, might be just an hour, don't have to stay out long, but it would be fun, and I wanted to go and catch up with my friend. We made those plans, so I like to honor my plans, even though she knew that I wasn't feeling perfectly well on Saturday. So she actually said to me, no problem if you can't make it, it is all good, don't stress. But I decided to go, and indeed I did have a great time. And this actually made me think about all these people that cancel because it seems to be such a common thing that people just cancel plans. In all fairness, when the day comes of doing something that you committed to or promised to do at some time in the past, you might not be fully feeling like it. You might not be feeling like you actually want to do it at that point. And I feel like that's why a lot of people cancel. And so I've had that done to me quite a number of times when I made plans with somebody and they just on the day they were like, look, actually I'm not going to make it for whatever reason. And and that's okay. But I don't know, it kind of bugs me a little bit how easy people find it to cancel plans. And that's okay, like if you're not feeling well, or if some kind of circumstances have changed and arose and now you are just it's just gonna be very difficult or tricky for you to honor your commitments, that's perfectly fine. But I feel like in many cases there's a big element of laziness in those decisions to cancel. And I know, because I felt, so many times that I kind of just felt tired or felt like I was lazy and I just wanted to have that Sunday at home and not do anything. Like that happens. But I would, in huge percentage of cases, I would still make myself go out because I know that I will be glad I did. Because I know just how important for me it is to have my social life, to respect my friends and respect my friends' time and respect the fact that they are extending invitations to me, or that they are showing up when I invited them to things, etc. That's why it kind of bugs me just how non-committal people can be, or even if they commit to things, just how easily they find it to get out of their commitments without a really good reason. So that was one thing. And then another thing happened. I started chatting with this gentleman online through Instagram. So every day I get multiple messages from men who want to get to know me, and there's absolutely no way for me to have conversations with all of these people because there's just too many of them. But sometimes, from time to time, somebody will kind of grab my attention. And that's what happened here. I got a bit curious and interested, like, who is this guy? And the conversation seemed quite nice and fun. He seemed really keen to get to know me. He seemed intelligent, smart, and funny, and all these kind of things that we look out for, or that I look out for in a man. And so we started chatting, and I figured, okay, well, I don't want to spend a lot of time kind of messaging someone online if I don't know who that person is. They could be an axe murderer, like, like I just don't know. So I figured, how about we have a Zoom date? We just have a chat over Zoom and see if there's any interest there. You know, because in the world of online chatting, like, you can build castles on sand, and that is just such a waste of time because it all collapses so quickly, and it was all a waste of time and emotions. So I said that to him, look, okay, let's just have a Zoom chat, a Zoom date. And he was so happy. He was like, oh my God, this is like the best thing. Let's do it. And he wanted to catch up fairly quickly. So I said, look, you know, I've got certain things to do, but in 4 hours I'll be free. So he was like, yeah, perfect. So then I got on with my stuff, you know, kind of rushing, making sure that I can honor my word. If I said I'll be there in 4 hours, I'm gonna be there in 4 hours. So I did. So I sent him my Zoom link and I jumped on Zoom at the time that we agreed, and he wasn't there. So I waited 20 minutes, like I was doing my thing, I was working, but I had the Zoom open just in case he was going to jump in a bit late. After 20 minutes, I sent him a message to see if he was still coming, and after another 10 minutes after that, I just turned off Zoom. And to be honest, I wasn't actually even terribly surprised that he didn't turn up, because I've seen that kind of behavior before. People seem to be so excited and keen as long as it's in the sphere of just typing, as long as they're hiding behind their computer screens or behind their phones. But when it comes to actually making an effort, actually showing up, then very different story. And it doesn't matter how keen the person seems to be about you. When the point comes of actually showing up, like, show me your face, show me who you really are as a human being, like, have a proper conversation with me, that's when people really flake. Not everybody, obviously, but I've seen it enough that it didn't surprise me that he didn't turn up. But then, you know, it kind of begs the question, he was the one pursuing me. Like, if you're so keen, if you're so interested, if you're, you know, putting so much time and effort into writing these messages, trying to really convince the girl really hard that she should give you some of her time, why don't you show up? I'm just assuming that he chickened out. I don't actually know what happened for him because I still haven't heard back from him. Why is showing up this scary that you'd rather not show up, that you'd rather break your word? And see, this is something that I find really important in men, in people in general, and particularly in men that I date. Is he honoring his word? When he says he'll be there, when he says, or he makes a promise, does he keep that promise? And things can happen. Like, I'm not saying that he needs to be there absolutely 100% of the time. No, like, something could happen. But then communicate, you know, that guy could have messaged, look, it's not gonna work for me, or look, you know, I changed my mind, or, you know, whatever, you know, look, I'm not gonna make it. None of that happened. He didn't message, he didn't show up, you know, kind of left me hanging there. And I get that it is scary, but I still show up in life. And I'm not talking just about this particular situation, like, it doesn't matter, but just in general, like, when I want to create something, when I want to experience something, I show up. I show up for my dating life, but I also show up for life in general. So not only, yes, I am the one who responds to messages, like I communicate well. I have never stood anybody up. Like, to me, that is such a disrespectful thing to do to anybody. I will message and I will say, if I change my mind, I will message and I say, look, I'm not going to make it. I'm sorry. Or whatever, something happened, or, like, I will message. I will not leave anybody hanging, because it's just a disrespectful, crappy thing to do to anybody. Even if I don't have any kind of relationship with that person, I will still not leave a stranger hanging. That's just common sense to me. So as soon as somebody does that to me, like, you're pretty much kind of, gone from me. You pretty much lost your chances, because your word means nothing. So I guess this is like a question to you, my audience. Like, first of all, do you show up in life, even when things get scary? Even if you are about to meet a stranger that feels intriguing or interesting or mesmerizing, etc. Do you show up, or do you chicken out? And when you promise, when you give your word, when you make a plan, like, how much does that mean to you? Does that mean anything? Or do you feel like you can change and not show up, if that feels right for you? I'm just curious, because honestly, I've witnessed that happening, like, to me sometimes as well, but just like, I just witnessed that happening in life in general. People doing that, not showing up, chickening out and staying at home or staying behind, doing whatever, and not showing up in life. It is not just about dating life. It is not about this one particular situation. To me, this really is about life in general, because I do my best to show up in life. People will tell me that I really, I guess, grab life by the balls, and I move places, and I start new things, and I go places, and I experience, and I just do a lot in life. Well, to me, that's the way to live your life. Like, how else? Am I going to keep hiding at home, and am I going to just keep canceling on everything because I don't feel like it? I feel like then I would just stay at home forever and nothing would happen. And how boring is that? And this is not to say that everybody needs to live their lives my way. But my way is my way. Your way is your way. We're all different. But in your life, in your particular ways, according to your ideas, values, preferences, desires, etc., are you showing up? Like, are you showing up for the life that you truly, really want? Or are you hiding behind an excuse? Or even worse, are you ghosting people and just not showing up at all? Food for thought.